Hey everyone, I covered how to pick your spouse in the last video. This video, I want to cover what I actually wanted to cover, which was why I think you should have kids. Having kids is obviously a really big responsibility. It shouldn't be taken lightly. Like, that's pretty obvious. But I want to lay down what it's actually like so far having a kid. And yeah, some of the horror stories are right. There's a lot of sleepless nights. There's times where you're going to be really exhausted and you might snap a little bit. There's going to be times where stuff just gets really stressful because not only are you in charge of doing your job, you're in charge of helping take care of your spouse, but now you're also in charge of having this kid. But I don't know of any parent who's regretted having their kid. And I can tell you that the sheer amount of joy a child brings with them just by being them, there's nothing to compare that to. I've won major competitions. I could have died at the age of 26 feeling fulfilled with my life because I had accomplished what I had set out to do. Obviously I wouldn't off myself, but if a freak accident happened and I had like 10 seconds to live and I thought about my life, I would have thought I did a pretty good job. I say that because that's the amount of fulfillment and joy I've had up until before I had kids. And now that I do have kids, there isn't a level of joy I've ever experienced that has brought that level of happiness. I'm just talking about like my kids smiling at me. Today we brought my kids to Train Town. And Train Town is like a kid amusement park, right? And my older daughter has this thing where she's really happy with something. She'll like smile, but she'll try and hide her smile. I was so happy I caught it on camera. And it's experiences like this, every movie, every show, they like try and capture, but it's never real until the baby is your baby. And so there's stuff that's exaggerated in movies, like the poopy diaper is just all over the walls. Like, that is literally never happened. It's my entire time taking care of a child or two children. The sleepless nights are real, but you get used to it. When we had Amelia, I was literally just like, all right, well, here we go again. It's not as bad as the movie put it out to me. The movies make it seem so much worse than it actually is to have a kid. Like all the responsibility, all the cleanup so far with 2-year-olds. And they make it seem so much harder and chaotic. And as a parent, they depict you as being incompetent and like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Like you get a handle on it. And it just, just become a part of your life. The negative is definitely nowhere as near as negative as the media is showing it. And the positive they show in the media is nowhere near the actual positive it is when it's your kid. And so, like, you can hear parents talk about their kids in a certain way, and they talk about their kids with such joy, sometimes with some annoyance, because, it happens. But I just want to express to you guys, if you're debating whether or not to have a kid and you have a good spouse, I think you should. And obviously, there's the responsibility of bringing that kid into the world and raising them correctly. If you look at your life and you think you're a good person, a lot of people have these doubts like, oh, am I going to be a good parent? I think kids follow your example more than anything else that you're going to say. And so if you are a good parent and you talk to your friends well and you talk to your spouse well, I think your kids are going to be okay. You show them love, you show them compassion. And I think at the end of the day, when you see your kids smiling at you, or you do something as silly as just going to a train town in the middle of wine country that's like a 10-minute train ride, and you can see the smile on the kid's face, like this shared amount of joy, I think it's worth it. I personally think it's worth it. There's a lot of stuff in the media saying you shouldn't, and that if you do, you're a bad person because the environment, or look at this terrible world we're in. So I would just say strongly consider it, because not having kids and having kids, the amount of fulfillment I have after having kids is really unparalleled. So I wish for you guys to have kids.